Happy Monday, everyone. Today is February 5th, I believe, and I'm here to bring you a really great comparison of two agents at two different companies, one on a 90 to 100% contract and one at a 50% contract. I say 90 to 100 because halfway through the month, this agent was at a 90% and then got promoted to 100%. The agent on my team is always on the flat 50% commission. Both agents issued just over $23,000 in production, but one agent only made $1,800 in their bank account and the other made about $7,300 in their bank account. You have a guess who did what? Well, I'm about to show you now. Thanks for watching. My name is Dana from Final Expense Telesales. All right, thanks for being here. I'm really excited to give you this comparison today. I have made the decision to not name the company that I am comparing for fear of defamation and getting a cease and desist. So I'll just let you come to your own conclusions of which company I'm comparing. But this agent actually interviewed with me several months ago before deciding that the better fit for him would ultimately be this other company. I recently had a new conversation with him and he said, wait a second, I pulled the curtains back and it wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be. And he shared with me all his numbers. I went ahead and found an agent that did a similar amount of production and showed him his numbers. We compared the two and realized you can actually make a lot more money on a 50% contract when leads are provided. I'm gonna break all these numbers down for you. I can't share my screen, but I will be showing slides as an overlay once I go back and edit this. So you'll be able to see what I am reading as I go through this. All right, so agent A on the other company issued $23,504. Agent B on my team issued $23,843. The level of detail I have for agent A is going to be slightly more than the amount of detail I have for my agent, which seems ironic. You'd think I'd have the same amount of detail, but I don't have the daily commission reports. Only the agent has that, which shows the types of policies that were written, the amount of chargebacks that were taken. But regardless, it's still a pretty good amount of detail. So let's break down the numbers. First thing that you should understand when we're looking at the agent on the 90 to 100% contract, and this is really important for especially brand new agents who are getting in the business, who are looking at a 100% contract and thinking that all your policies are going to go through at that percentage. It's just simply not the case. This particular company pays out starting contract 90% for their best policies. For a modified policy, it's 60% commission. When you're at 100% commission, it goes up to 70%. For guaranteed issue, it is 35% commission when you're on the 90%, 45% commission when you're on the 100%. There's also a couple of mid-level policies that aren't the best, but they're not the worst, and those are paid out at about 70%. And of course, we have cards that really aren't paid really anything at all. And also the advance is less. So this agent was on a 60% advance, which will have much lower cash flow in your bank account at first. Eventually, as long as they don't charge back, you're going to get that pay through after month 9. But when you're trying to cash flow a high volume of leads, that 60% advance, it really does affect agents at the beginning, especially when all their policies aren't being written at the 90 or 100% commission. So this agent sold a total of 20 policies and spent $3,085 on 65 leads. Looks like it was a combination of live transfers, Facebook leads, and online quote requests. So $3,085 was the amount of leads spent to issue $23,504.64. Looks very good from the surface. However, if we break this down, what we're looking at a total of 10 policies. So half of the business submitted was submitted at modified or guaranteed issue. The other half was a combination of anywhere from a 70% to 100%. It looks like there were possibly 3 policies that were paid at 100%. It's kind of hard to decipher here. There's also a note in here that 6 of the policies were credit card, but unfortunately that didn't break down the commission on that. What matters is how much ended up in his bank account at the end of the month, and I do have that data. The total advanced commissions on $23,504 was $4,888. And after the lead spend of $3,085, $1,803.50 was left in his bank account at the end of the month. So as a new agent who has to spend $1,000 a week on leads, and you've only earned $1,800 at the end of the month after issuing $23,000, now you have to continue to cash flow out without an ROI, right? You're negative. And because you only have $1,800 to play with, but you have to spend $3,000 to $4,000 the next month just to go negative again. And so this is one of the reasons why a lot of new agents get out of the business, because they don't realize what it actually looks like at the end of the month when they actually weren't paid the percentage they were supposed to be paid, or they thought they were going to be paid. All right, so my agent is a lot easier because we only have 3 commission levels. We have 50% commission for final expense policies. We have a 30% commission for modified policies, and there's a 10% commission for ages 81 and 85. All 3 of those are advanceable at the 75%. We do not advance on credit cards, but I train my team not to take credit cards. So it's probably likely that my agent didn't take very many cards. And I should note, now that I'm saying this out loud, and it was right here in front of me, this agent did take 6 credit cards. So 6 divided by 20, at 30% of his business was direct express or debit cards. So you're kind of damned if you do and damned if you don't, because you pay for the lead regardless. So most agents who are paying for the leads are going to take any payment type to get some sort of income to help compensate for that lead. But the persistency on cards and direct express is very low, and you're just borrowing money, and a very insignificant amount of money at that. All right, back to my agent. So my agent issued $23,843, so just $300 more than this other agent from the other company. And in his bank account ended up with $7,325.99. So if we were to take $23,843 and just multiply that by the average commission of 40%, that gives you $9,537, and then we do a 75% advance. That comes out to $7,152. Now, that is not the amount of commissions he made, because he did have some chargebacks against this. So the amount of money paid by Lincoln in his bank account for this amount of issued premium was $6,832. And the difference between the $6,832 and the $73.25 was made up in bonuses. So he earned just about $500 in bonuses for that month. And of course, bonuses cannot be charged back, which is a beautiful thing. And it is your money. We pay bonuses based on talk time, production, and conversion rates. We have contests all the time trying to put immediate money into your pockets, because we know that's the most important factor for immediate success, is being able to cash flow your bills while you're getting through the learning curve. So here's the other thing, guys. I just showed you that you can significantly put more money in your bank account on a lower contract free lead model. Our renewals are going to be lower as well. It's all lower overall because you are paying for that reduced commission with the opportunity for free leads. But here's the thing, you're not capped at a certain amount of leads. You're not capped at a certain amount for outbound. You're not capped for transfers or any inbound calls that we generate. The opportunity is there for the taking. And if you were to duplicate the system that you have here, you wouldn't be able to afford it, right? You're comparing someone who's buying, what was it, 65 leads total. That's nothing, right? That is nothing compared to the opportunity that you have on this team to be able to spend not thousands of dollars a month, but thousands of dollars in a week to be able to go through the amount of volume that you need to so that you can turn away people with cards, right? So that you don't have to squeeze the living life out of every single lead that you get. We give you permission to let those people go because we know that we only want the business that's gonna stick. We only want you to help people that wanna be helped. And we provide you with the training that you need in order to be successful. And when we look at training and the definition of we meet on Zoom together every day, I think a lot of people's definitions of meeting on Zoom to train is really limited to possibly some raw mindset sessions. Maybe you have some top producers speak and give some motivational talks to get people hyped up to keep going. We do a little bit of that, but the majority of our training and the majority of when we meet, it is in the weeds, breaking down word for word what you have to say over and over again until you get it right? We have that rinse and repeat mentality where if you don't actually say it out loud, if you don't use it consistently, it's not going to translate well over the phone. You're just going to revert right back to your comfort zone because I've said this a million times, you're not going to be able to learn by osmosis. The excitement wears away very quickly. The burnout happens fast. You don't see the money in your bank account. And so you continue to look for new opportunities until you ultimately get a W-2 job. I see it all the time. It's just what happens. Now, I'm sure there are people that are on a 90, 100% contract that are not paying $55 for a lead, and your numbers therefore would be different. There are people that comment all the time that they self-generate their own leads at $5 to $8 a lead, and that's great. Congratulations to you. But not everybody is successful at coming up with a Facebook campaign or a social media campaign that generates a high enough volume of leads that can sustain them to pay their bills. You might have some money to be able to start a campaign to self-generate leads, but it takes a while for the algorithm to recognize that your ad is legit. You don't get a high volume of leads at first. It takes a while for that to build and develop that trust over a certain length of time. So if you only get 5 leads through a Facebook campaign, which is typically outbound calling, and 4 of them don't answer, and 1 of them doesn't have a bank account, what did you really, win at the end of the day? There's so many variables that people don't talk about when it comes to how difficult it actually is to self-generate your own leads, especially when you're just getting started. On the same token, it's also possible to earn a multiple 6-figure, even towards a 7-figure income on a free lead reduced commission model. And it doesn't matter to me that maybe someone is telling me I could have done this a lot sooner, because the point is I know there's a lot of people that aren't doing it at all, and they aren't doing it sooner. And there's people that are on a higher contract that are doing it at the same rate as me. So what's the variable there? Variable is lead cost, agent debt, chargebacks, advances. There's so many things that we don't talk about that really go into the bottom line. And there's both short-term picture and long-term picture here. It's just up to you to go out and get it. So if you're interested in learning more on how to be part of my team, please visit our website at tailoredlegacy.com, find the Telesales Q&A, book a call and speak to myself or someone from our office, and we're more than happy to see if our program is a good fit for you. Thanks for watching.